Kingston, Rhode Island just got
Uh-huh.
announced. I'm excited about that. Not just for you guys, but I love visiting Newport. I know Newport's not very far away. Have you ever been?
I went to Rhode Island. I think NXT, we did a loop there once. It was a lot of fun. Didn't get really to sightsee. It was one that we literally drove in, did the show, and we drove right
Mhm.
back out.
Okay. So we'll talk about the event first, and then we'll talk about the extracurriculars.
Yeah, no
But
worries.
Thursday, July 24th, Friday, July 25th. Thursday's live.
Yes.
I always love seeing TNA get to go live. It's happened a couple times this year so far. Uh, you've been on tape shows, you've been on live TV before. Why is it important for you as a performer to get a chance to be on live TV more often?
'Cause we're live, pal. You got to go out there. You got to go out there and you got to deliver. And
Mhm.
that's the one benefit with taped episodes is things could be edited or changed, or one-liners have to be changed in the back, or you could just do it again. But when you're on live television, it's just you're in the deep end with the sharks, and it's just go out there and you got to perform and deliver.
Yeah. I'm I'm going to use the cliche, but like you go out there with no net, like everybody always says, wrestling compared to acting, like you have no net, but live TV is a different element, so it'll be fun. It's a good test for, everybody on the roster. It's, guys that are veterans that like look at a guy like Eric Young, who's been there for so long, still get a chance to prove himself, and it helps the up and comers. Like I'm gonna say, like a guy like Casey Navarro hasn't been
Mhm.
on TV that much, so it's a good opportunity for everybody.
It adds an element of just even the crowd too, just brings a different energy for live, especially like when we have like this past loop we just had uh, out in Arizona and Tempe. Like you had 2 days back to back tapings. Like the energy's there, but it's always something different when it's the live match the night before, or a live event the night before, or even just a live episode. And just the energy is just a lot different because you're on live television. TV crowd, everybody wants to be on TV. So.
And if I have this right, because everything on the internet, it's true because it's on the internet, but I'm using Cage Match as my reference, but this will be the first time in 18 years that TNA would have an event in Rhode Island. It's only I think the second one ever with the live episode. It was Lincoln, Rhode Island in 2007 is the only one that
Wow.
is on there. So, not much as far as a point of reference, but like you said, you did a loop with NXT where you kind of just drove up and came back. So,
Yeah, no, it's again, it's being in the Northeast, especially with Pittsburgh coming up next week, and then we have Slammiversary in New York for July, and that's just gearing up to be one of the biggest shows in TNA history, and everybody's working their butt off to sell it out, which is we hope people do. So go to TNAtickets.com to sell that thing out. But then even to just go straight into a live episode the following week just adds even more ammo to the fire. The energy is so awesome right now within TNA, within TNA wrestling fans, and it's a good time to be a part of this rise in TNA.
all right, if you get a chance, I mentioned I like going to Newport. It's about
Direction.
25 minutes away. But if you get a chance, it's a really cool town. There's a little beach there. There's a place. It's called Ben's Chili Dogs. I always like on the way home from Boston. It's like kind of like our part of our trip the past 3 years. We built it into our trip to Boston, so
All right, I'll have to
it
check it out. If anything, I'll have to have you message me about it just so I can write it down.
it's very nice. So
Any good lobster roll places?
I actually never got lobster there
No.
because I just went for the chili dog place, but
Chili dogs. Gotcha.
I'm sure you look one way and you'll find something.
Gotcha.
Uh, Want to talk about the title.
Oh, this thing?
Yes, the new the new championship that you hold.
Yes.
Obviously, you want to win the championship, but you know, there's quite a bit of fanfare and speculation about what the new belt's going to look like. When it came out, they kind of offered like a little teaser of, the flags on the main plate. But what was your first reaction to seeing it was a blue strap?
It was beautiful. It's something different, and it's a brand new title that now I'm forever etched in TNA wrestling history as one of the first ever, or the first ever inaugural champion, alongside Kurt Angle and AJ Styles. And to be amongst those names is it's pretty cool to be. Never would have thought of that to be a part of that history. But for the story that goes behind the title, just for having all the, for being the international champion, you have all the flags that are on it, obviously with the gold, and then for the blue, meaning for the ocean. It's a good different feel to it, and there's a lot of meaning behind it for the creation. It's not just a title that was just made to be a title.
Mhm.
They try to put thought process into it and make it mean something, which to me is everything in wrestling. You got to make the most of
Mhm.
everything that you do, and to be the first ever is it's pretty freaking cool, man.
Yeah. The first couple things came to mind were I think the Ultimate Warrior had the world title with the blue strap.
Mhm.
And then I think somebody else was like maybe like one of the old NWA titles had it. Like I don't remember for sure, but like it really is like there's a lot of thought that comes into it because like everybody's title's black or you see like
Yeah.
white or red once in a while. So it really pops. It looks good on screen.
It brings out the blue in my eyes, which I love to say. It really goes well with me. So
It looks good. I'm trying to think. What should I oh, I know what I wanted to ask you. I saw this pop up, I think it was last night. So uh your wife is Italian, for those that don't know, Deanna Perrazzo. Uh, fun banter back and forth, but somebody was criticizing her lasagna, so she said that he would say that he likes it. So I want you to rate your wife's lasagna.
10 out of 10. I love my wife when she cooks and she full on cooks. It's the best because it's just good homemade Italian food, and with her mother's recipe and her grandmother's recipe. And she made manigot over Easter, which is like pretty much a really thin like crepe style noodle. But she made homemade manigot even on Easter, and when she it's just I just gain 10 pounds every time she cooks like a full on Italian dinner, which I love because it's one of my favorite food groups is the Italian.
Mm,
Is to be cultured in Italian food.
yeah.
Who
Uh,
doesn't love pasta?
I noticed you have the lingo down too. It's like manicotti. It's
No,
manigot.
it's manigot.
Manigot.
It's mutz, mozzarella.
Hmm. Uh, North Jersey, right?
Yeah, I
North.
grew up in the Northeast, so
So like you know,
Bergen County in Rutherford, New Jersey. It's very so. I That's the one thing I will say I miss living in New Jersey is good bread and good Italian food. Because down here, there's a few places in Orlando area, but trying to get good bread everywhere is very, very hard to do.
uh,
Especially with pizza.
I know the struggle because when I lived in Orlando, it was like you find one place and it's like it's good, but it's not like
Yeah,
it's not the same.
nothing's the same. There's my favorite pizza place that I'm actually gonna probably go to. I have a GCW show I'm part of in August on the 2nd. And Park Tavern. It's in Rutherford, New Jersey, my hometown, in the building that I graduated in at the Williams Center, which is the
Mhm,
hometown movie theater. But Park Tavern Pizza is right across the train tracks, and that's my favorite pizza. It's bar pie, but it's my favorite bar
mhm,
pie in the entire world.
yeah.
It's good thin crust is just burnt and crispy enough where it's not too overdone, and then you get that order of spicy mussels,
Mhm.
dip it right in there as well. Oh, I'm already looking forward to that meal. Yes.
Somebody else, I can't remember who, but they said I I was at the actually I was at the PC and they were like, I can't get good semolina bread down here. He's like, I have to have somebody bring it to me.
Yeah.
So I
It's
know.
yeah. It's a struggle. It's the struggle's real down here for no good bread.
Yeah. All right. A couple more questions for you.
Mhm.
You mentioned being the first in a list, you know, AJ Styles, Kurt Angle, with their various titles, you're the first international champion. What other firsts do you want to accomplish in TNA? What's kind of
Uh,
like one that jumps out to you?
what's kind of left? Obviously, I have the X Division title and the tag titles to win, so that would make me a Grand Slam pretty much in that way.
Mhm.
Um, First for me, in general, would be in an Ultimate X match. I'd love to be involved in an Ultimate X. Lethal Lockdown is another one of those matches. I'd have stipulation matches. But then also a first match for me is defending this title. And if I was to pick an opponent, it'd be Eddie Edwards. I think Rhode Island would be close enough to home for him in Boston.
Mhm.
So that to me would be a great defense and a great matchup to have there as well.
I, I think that's shot called. I,
Yeah.
why not? Let's do it.
Let's see if the system allows it.
All right. Uh, Final question. When you felt you made it in pro wrestling, what's the first craziest purchase or like most frivolous purchase you made where you're like, I
What
don't.
constitutes of making it though?
But it,
Um,
well, that's what I'm saying. When you felt you did, because maybe it was like it was when you first signed your first contract. Maybe it was like when you won the world title. Maybe I'm
I think
leaving
out of
I'm
anything
leaving
is
that definition up to you.
I think if anything is being able to provide for my family and put a roof over our heads, buying a house, I think would probably be my number one accolade. Just because I grew up in apartments my whole life, so just going from apartment to apartment, all my friends lived in these big houses growing up. So it was always just something that I wanted to work towards at some point to have. And just when D and I bought this house, it was just a really cool moment. And now we just get to I get tasked out to do all these home projects all the time. I'm actually just about to finish up our laundry room here next week with my
Mhm.
dad. So that was one of my gifts to my wife for her birthday. Was like, all right, what do you want? And she's like, I don't know. I was like, would you like me to finish the laundry room? She's like, sure. I was like, perfect, easy gift for me to give to you.
Mhm. If you're married and or you're in a relationship and you're looking for a home, they all want a first floor laundry room.
We have a second floor laundry room.
Oh,
So,
okay.
which isn't a bad. It's not a
No,
bad
but
knock having. It's not a bad knock having the second floor laundry room. Just because now we don't have to go up and down the stairs with our laundry all the time.
I assumed because most houses in Florida you think are like a ranch style or
No, we have
I
two
mean I
floors.
made the assumption, but
No, we
okay.
have a two floor. That was a big thing going into buying our house too. Was finding a two-story house. Can't really have basements here because of
Hmm.
the sea level, but would be nice to have a basement. I miss basements.
Hmm. I'm in mine right now. It's redone. So I understand it and I love it.
Yeah.
All right. All right. All right. We got a little bit of a sentimental answer out of there, so I appreciate it. But I kind of fibbed. I had one more question. I know you did the tunnels to towers uh climb walk not too long ago. You did it earlier this month with Deanna. Uh I know it's like it's obviously a physical challenge. It has a lot of sentimental meaning too, but can you talk me through like what kind of physical training you do for it or like how it's different from like your military or pro wrestling training?
Get on a get on a stairmaster and do stairs. Train for just climbing up stairs, and it's just pushing yourself past the limit. And what's funny is when we showed up to get our numbers for the run itself, we just ended up in the elite group. And I looked at my wife. I was just like, Why are we in the elite group with these triathlon training people and people that have been doing this for so long, and they're going out there and competing for a time?" And we just kind of went into it like, "Are we just going to do this? It's for charity. Like we're proud to be a part of this." And then right as we started at 5 a.m., Frank Siller was right there at the entrance, who started up the foundation for his brother Steven Siller. And D and I shook hands, gave him a hug, and just thanked him so much for allowing us to be a part of it. And then we started kind of walking. And I think maybe we got about 5 stories, and then D just gave me the wave because she saw my just how I was feeling. I ended up doing it in 27 minutes, which I was very proud of myself to do
Wow.
without really training for it. So I was kind of happy to do it. I think the best time out of everybody there was, I think, with like around 15 minutes,
Hmm.
which is insane. That's insane. But getting to the top and to the finish line was really cool moment, surreal. Just because I've never been at the top of the World Trade Center one, to be up there and just kind of see the scenery because you see everything for miles. And to be able to see MetLife Stadium and where I grew up in New Jersey across the river, and then just looking across the New York skyline and just being taller than anywhere, just was a surreal moment. And especially the community that it brought together, that with everybody getting done with their walk and climb, just for amongst veterans, families of FDNY, NYPD, Port Authority. It's just a really cool moment to be a part of it, and it was just, I don't know, just brought me back a little bit to kind of just you see all these people that are coming out to do good, and that's literally the motto of Tunnel to Towers is let us do good. And I think everybody came out, and whether you're finishing in 15 minutes or you're finishing in an hour and a half, everybody's just getting to the top and trying to make that ultimate sacrifice for the heroes that did make the sacrifice on that day in 9/11.
Thank you for participating and sharing your journey and uh maybe they put you in the elite group because I mean she is elite, so
Yeah, she is all elite, I guess.
yeah.
But no, it was pretty fun. And we're doing the 5K here in I think September it is. We're doing the 5K here in New York, and then I'll finish up the trip that Steven Stiller made that entire day with climbing the tower, and then also with going up the steps, and then also crossing the bridge over in Brooklyn. So
Mhm.
we're looking forward to being a part of that as well.
You said that's September.
Yes, I
It's like,
may.
is it?
It should be September.
It's not like is it the anniversary weekend
No, I
or?
think it's a little after. It's right around where we have our dates for one of the shows that's somewhere in Canada. I forget. I don't know if
Mhm.
that's announced yet, but spoiler.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out soon enough. I like seeing TNA constantly announce new dates instead of, you know.
Yeah, TNA just kind of hitting these different markets has been great. I've been begging to go back to New Jersey at some point, which would be awesome. But for it to be kind of in the Northeast with Pittsburgh coming up next week, and then like I said, with UBS Arena for Slammiversary on July 20th, and then now with Rhode Island, I think we're hitting those markets pretty good, and it's good to just be back up in the Northeast, especially during the warmer months too, not the dead of winter.
Yeah. Who, who thought you'd get a chance to kind of do all these markets because it seemed, like Las Vegas gets love, Chicago gets love, Texas, it's like, all right, what about us? And then now that it's actually kind of getting a few East Coast dates in here, it's kind of nice getting a little love here.
Yeah, it was even the West Coast too. With being out in Cali, it was a lot of fun for the 10 days that I got to stay out there.
Mhm.
For TV and for the pay per view, being out in Irvine and then even in LA for Rebellion. It was just cool to just get out there and just people have been at their meet and greets. It's just like, oh, we've been waiting so long for TNA to come back out here, and it's just really cool for fans that were originally fans of TNA wrestling at the beginning to now be seeing it again. And it's like not a nostalgia thing, but that rebrand really helped elevate TNA because we were on the cusp of rising up and then once that TNA rebrand hit, people just were like coming out of the woodwork. I love TNA. Remember this. I remember AJ Styles, Frankie Kazarian, EY, Abyss. Just so many different, just so many stories from back in the day that you can now watch on the TNA Plus app. Cheap plug. Uh, but it's really cool because even for us when we were with Impact, when it was the brand of Impact, it was hard to like tell people, like, oh, how do I what are you with? I'm like, oh, Impact Wrestling. Oh, what's that? So, oh, do you remember TNA Wrestling? Well, it's Impact
Mhm.
Wrestling now. So like now being TNA Wrestling, it's a lot easier on the selling point of being TNA Wrestling.
What's your company? Impact Wrestling. What show is it? Impact Wrestling. Like,
It's a hard. It's just for the branding on it. It's like you get the gist of why they rebranded it, but then bringing it back just it really sparked and piqued everybody's interest back into TNA wrestling. And I think especially with the partnership with WWE and having a lot of talent coming back and forth with NXT and hopefully main roster soon, it would be nice to have SmackDown and Raw people come back. There's a few former TNA names up there that I'd love to see in a TNA ring.
and I would like to see that as well. I don't want to keep running past my time, but I'll just leave it at that. Maybe we'll see it throughout the summer. I mean, New York and New England is kind of WWE territory, so who knows?
And it is.
We'll have to wait. All right. Thanks for your time, International Champion Steve Maclin. Fun as always.
Thanks, Bill.
Have a
Appreciate it.
good weekend.